Chop it down. Chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. Damn, set, watch him throw the ball. We gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Dive.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of Trap or Dive, Washington Commanders morning show. I'm your host of the Trap or Dive podcast, Mual. Good morning to everybody tapping in live. Good morning to the morning trappers. What's up? JT, I see you in the chat. What's up? Good morning, man. What a day. 2 more nights sleep until the biggest game of my life. To the biggest game of some of y'all lives. As a Commanders, as a Washington football fan, we got 3 iterations of the Washington team. Washington Redskins, you see the logo wrong side. Washington football team, Washington Commanders, etc. Man, it's just one of these moments, bro. I look at Cordell we had on the podcast last night, and like he surmised my feelings about the game perfectly towards the end of the show. Like, this week has been exciting. It's been a long week, first and foremost. But this week has been exciting. But the anxiety has been happy anxiety, like a positive anxiety. Like, I can't wait till we get to Sunday. I am calm. I feel good. And I don't think there's going to be anything to change that. I think for Washington, the idea of having to beat Philly, let me rephrase that. I think for Washington, knowing that Philly is who they are from a roster standpoint and what they bring, I think several areas to ask questions about are fair. What do I mean by that? Understanding how Washington got here. Like, thinking from an objective standpoint. I know I'm just kind of took a left turn. I'm aware that I took a left turn. But I think at the end of the day, when you win 2 games in the playoffs in the postseason, you don't apologize for that. And what am I saying here? Like, if you look from an objective standpoint, the defenses that Washington has faced is completely different than the defense Washington will go up against on Sunday, right? The Philadelphia Eagles is largely intact. They did suffer an injury with Nakobe Dean in the wild card round. And Quinyon is a little banged up, but who cares? Tampa Bay and Detroit, they got injuries in the secondary. Tampa. Detroit got injuries in the secondary and defensive line. And linebacker, kind of. So that's what I say, like, the road to the wild card is a little bit different. To the conference championship game is a little bit different. But again, you do not apologize for how you got there. Jayden and that offense put on a show. Cliff put on a show. What up, Alex? Good morning. JB, good morning. HTTC. Like a kid on Christmas. Like, 2 more nights sleep, bro. You don't apologize for how you got there or getting to the point in which Washington is at. And all you got to do is be better than the team that you're playing against that day. Washington is aware of that. And I think the messaging from every single player and coach who have had a press conference to this point understands the task at hand. They aren't looking beyond Philadelphia. They are even at the point where they are refreshing their database on Philadelphia. Dan Quinn and Joe Witt's messaging at their pressers were immaculate. I don't have the exact quotes in front of me, so I'm going to paraphrase. But they basically said, both of them, we ain't coming into this game like we know these guys at all. We're not worried about what they did in the first 2 games. We are coming into this game with a fresh mindset. Playing opponent 3 times in a season is unique. We need to understand where the gaps are that still exist after the 2 games that we played. What is new? What is different? Let's relearn our opponent and get better. Again, I'm paraphrasing, so that's not his exact quote. That's not neither one of their exact quotes, but that's the message that they gave. And I loved every second of what they were saying. It's a fresh perspective, man. People can, you can play an opponent 3 times, and it's like there's no question that people say we know them like the back of our hand. And like Dan said, that's a cliche answer. And in order to avoid the cliche and insert the messaging that you want your team to have moving forward, it makes them dig a little bit deeper in terms of their research, in terms of their study, to pull out new information on their opponent. Does this translate to a win? I sure hope so, right? We all think so. But at the end of the day, the mindset and the approach is something where you look at them and you're like, they know what time it is, bro. They know exactly what time it is, bro. It ain't no moment, no time moving forward or this week for complacency. We not getting complacent because we played these guys 2 times. Right? It ain't none of that. We passed that. We passed the point of complacency. We all about getting better. Terry, his press conference, all about getting better. Jayden Daniels, his press conference. He ain't worried about making it to the Super Bowl. He knows that it's going to be cool and it's a dream come true, but he worried about getting better today. All of the messaging that they're having this week, bro, like we cannot let that be understated. That's why I look at, and Jay Tizzy, sometimes we go back and forth. Hold on 1 second, my bad. Jay Tizzy, sometimes we go back and forth on how we interpret what the coaches are saying. And my bottom line thing is I always hold coaches accountable for what they say in terms of their processes, how they process things. Like you can take away exactly how they feel when certain questions are asked about their process and how they move forward on certain things. Not about no gamesmanship, all of that stuff. But their processes, I could take away a lot of things from how they talk in the media. And to this point in the season, so many things from coaches to player have been consistent across the board for, I gotta do the math, 21 week span. And even more if you include the off season, like training camp, preseason, mini camp, all that stuff. Bruh, this team has got everybody excited, bruh. I'm finna be on that yak this weekend. AJ and Drake had a tequila. Well, I know Drake. Drake ain't about to. First off, hey, bro. First off, if Drake finna be with family, win, lose or draw, Drake gonna show up to the show drunk. I know it. I told Drake. I said, look, if you about to be with family, bro, you might as well just go to the car, turn the car on, do the show from the car. Don't even worry about getting somewhere. If you want to do the show, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell them this. If you want to do the show in the crib, especially if we win, do the show in the crib with the family. Like, have them in the background, bro. They're gonna be talking, they're gonna be celebrating, bro. They're gonna be talking, they're gonna be celebrating with us. But win, lose or draw, Drake gonna be showing up drunk. AJ, I think AJ got a little bit more control. He probably gonna start drinking on the show. Good luck with me. A lemon drop. Hey, you know, bro, AJ, right? Hey, so I know AJ sometimes listens in the morning, bro. That is hilarious. We gotta stop playing with AJ with the lemon drop stuff. That's hilarious. But the hookah thing, man, AJ don't care, bro. AJ gonna buy himself a hookah, bro. He could be waiting in line at the grocery store. He gonna order a hookah. Yeah, I got that yak, bro. Well, I don't even know what I'm about to get yet. I'll probably get the Remy. Yeah. It's gonna be Remy or Henny. One of them. I don't think I'm gonna drink the whole bottle that night, but I don't know yet. But it's gonna be an amazing weekend. Some friends want to go to brunch early in the day. So we're gonna hit that. We're gonna hit the brunch 12 to something. 12 to like, I mean, it don't matter when it ends. I'm gone by like 1:30, 2 o'clock. It don't even matter when it ends. But I'm gone. I'm not sticking around because y'all want to get drunk at a function at a club. Hell no, I'm going home to the game. Y'all had y'all fun, bro. I'm not watching that with y'all. Though I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if we make it to the Super Bowl. I don't think I'm about to stay in the crib for that one though. So here's a post-game show may be a little delayed. I want to experience that with the people. Outlaw, what's up? Good morning. Man, we beat a 3-1 seed. No apologies needed. That's a fact. We don't need to apologize. And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Don't need to apologize. We beat the 3-1 seed. I need Marshawn to get busy on this one. Yeah, that's my X factor. I think Marshawn is I mean, first off, Philly's competitive arrogance is. Oh, we got an all hands meeting. Wait, why we got an all hands meeting? What time is our? My bad, I signed into work. Oh, it's from 3:15. Okay. All right. So Marshawn Lattimore is my X factor, and defensively, specifically, and I think Philly's competitive arrogance is going to be something that tests Marshawn throughout the entire game. I think that Saquon is obviously going to be the backbone of their offense. But what is going to be the counter of that when Washington finds ways to stop Saquon is the fact that Jayden, Kellen Moore, the OC, is not scared to attack the secondary and attack the defenders or the defense's best defender. Shit, the first game, he got it. Marshawn did. I don't know exactly how many targets he had on him, but it was at least 6. So this is just gonna be one of those games, JB, where Marshawn gonna have to stick his foot in the ground and be like, yeah, bro, I'm that guy. I'm about to say the other word. But I'm that guy. I'm the dog. I'm him. And honestly, bro, just stay true to his technique. Like, he's a competitive, fiery player. And I think it's important to know, like, I don't think he's ever reached this point of the postseason before. Like, he's made it. They've won playoff games, but I don't think he's ever made it this far with Drew Brees, bro. And I'm about to double check. I know AJ said it hadn't happened, but I'm about to just double check one time just to make sure. If I can find him on the. Oh, here you go. Okay. Let's go. Playoffs since 2017. Oh, if he made it in 2017, yeah, they made the conference. Because that was a game against the Rams. Yeah. I know I wasn't tripping. Yeah, because the Rams and Saints in 2018 was the conference championship game. That's the one with the flag, that BS flag that wasn't called. The no call is what I should say. I wanted the Saints to win the Super Bowl so bad during that time, bro. Like, they had one of the best draft classes I ever seen. When the Alvin Kamara draft, I would think that was 2017, bro. And they just kept dropping the ball. The Minnesota Miracle, and then the no call in the Rams Saints game ends up going to overtime when the Saints could have won it in regulation, I think. Unbelievable. So Marshawn has made it this far before. I think he's done it. I want to say twice. Oh no, it's just this is second time. So he has experience. 5-4 in the playoffs. He's had 9 games in the playoffs, bro. So yeah, Marshawn, man, X factor. Bottom line, JB, I think he's gonna need to have a big day. Dan Clear's been crystal clear in his messaging. Yeah, that's what we agree on, and that's why I love the consistency. That's why I be on Ron. You know that name, we ain't gonna say his full name, but that's why I be on the old head coach A's. I was on his head, bro. I hated how he talked in the media, bro. I hated how he talked, and I hated how he talked to people. You got some nerve, bro. How you gonna be sorry and angry at people for you being sorry? Come on, bro. I'm gonna see if I can find this clip, JB, and everybody else in the chat. Good morning to everybody just checking in. Good morning to all the morning trappers. Welcome to the Commanders Morning Show. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me if you don't mind. But JB, I think this. Let me see if I can find this clip on YouTube. I may end up getting like a little copyright strike and no monetization, but we passed that point, man. Let's have some fun on this show. Give me 2 seconds. This is actually from the Commanders channel. They did a film breakdown defensively of how to stop Saquon, or how Washington plans to stop Saquon with Logan Paulson, Santana Moss, and Fred Smoot. And it was pretty good. And I think it surmises exactly how, like, visually speaking, how they should be attacking the Philadelphia Eagles or Philadelphia Eagles. But what's also more impressive is when you watch this film session, this mini film session, you get to see exactly how they were successful in the previous 2 games, specifically the last game against Saquon. But also the difference is between, let's see if we can find, give me 2 seconds because we're here. Is it back to back? Yes, it is. All right, it's back to back. Okay. So it's like a 3-minute segment. We're gonna let it run. And to hell with the monetization. They can do what they gotta do. Let's get into it.
3. Logan and the guys are in that field room. I'm going to go catch Fletch out of the practice field. Take it away, fellas. Big London.
Thanks, Brian. All right, guys, what is the key to winning this game this weekend?
Line of scrimmage and stopping Saquon Barkley.
Stop it all 26, right? And so how do we do that, right? And so run game at its surface is really easy. I got a gap, I got a gap, I got a gap, got a gap, got a gap. And we work all the way down. Everyone's got a gap to the free player on the end. That's where we're trying to force the ball.
Yep.
If you do what you're supposed to do and be aggressive, you can stop any run just with simple math, right?
Yep.
However, when you watch this offensive line, right, they're going to block out, double team up here, cut off, and they're working up here on the double team, right? They got hats. We still got a force player. But watch Green Bay not play this very well, right?
It's not aggressive enough.
Watch number 7.
Yeah.
Fred, is this good run defense?
That gets you fired and doing our job.
Yeah, exactly right? And then once Saquon gets in the line of scrimmage, watch all these guys start peeking out of their gaps, right?
Yeah.
Hold your gap. Be in position. Stop the run, right?
Let them come to you.
Because what do you always say? Jump cut, jump cut, jump cut.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's doing. He's just reading hats, breaking leverage, and guys aren't doing what they're supposed to do. And he is explosive enough and dangerous enough to finish any single run with 6, right?
Yeah.
So I look at this, right? Same thing, right? We got gaps, right? Gaps. I'm fitting from depth, and I've got the force, right?
Yeah.
He shouldn't be able to run anywhere. But watch how different this looks when the Commanders do it. Watch 20, for example.
Yep.
Watch him get down in here and be like, hey, this is important to me. I'm stopping the run.
I'm going right now.
Yeah.
No hesitation.
Right now, we're in here. I'm going to peel the double team, right?
Yeah.
So now we can't double team 99. 99 on a defensive end should win no matter what. And so look, we still have our free defender here. Fred, talk about how important this guy is in the run.
This is the cleanup man right here. When all the garbage is finished, he has to be the one to clean it up. And I want to say one more. When you showing like that, that stops that from being a long double team right there. So get to the point of attack and understand I'm gonna clean those dishes after y'all eat dinner.
Yeah, but look, everybody's in a gap, right?
said,
Everybody's in a gap. No one's leaving gaps. We're winning and we're getting downhill fast, right? You can also do it from different fronts, right? We did this a bunch of times. This is duo, right? Just double teams across the front. Watch, same thing. Gaps. I'm fitting from depth, here, and we're all locked out. Watch our guy, Duran. Watch him on the center. He says, what's up? I'm going to get to extension.
Way to get
lock
off.
this out.
Yeah.
Where's my hat?
Yeah.
To the right side of the center. That's my gap,
That's
right?
my gap.
Don't get out of my gap. Great job. What about our guy Sheldon Day here, Tana? This is a great job by him.
Toss him out the club.
Toss him out the club. Get out of here.
You ain't buying no bottles.
I'm keeping Bobby Wagner clean when I do that. I'm eating that double team, right? What's our guy 90 here doing? He's taking 2, holding his gap. This is important. And Bobby can play across the front.
Keep him
one
clean.
at a time until I meet the back and get after him. Right?
That's what you need your defensive line to do right there. Like my boy Santana like to see, the only way to keep him zestfully clean is for them linemen to eat up those blocks.
Those blocks, right? Everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. We got Quan fitting from depth again. Frankie holding contain. This is good run defense, right? This is what it takes for 40 plays against the Philadelphia Eagles. All right. The other play they like to run, Fred, is counter, right? Here, they're going to double team back, down. They're going to pull him to kick and pull him to lead. When we move these 2 blockers here, right? We've got these blockers on this side, this guy and this guy.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that my fit is no longer this A gap, but I need to be over here, right? Because I've added gaps to the weak side. Watch our middle linebacker here, right? The tight end and the tackle here do a great job double teaming. Double. I'm going to build a wall. He gets locked off, right? This guy gets kicked out. This guy gets kicked out. And what do they call that? You got a seam, right?
Off to the right.
Yes.
Boom. Seam right there. Exactly right. That's bad run defense.
Yes, it is.
It's a tough fit, right?
Yeah, it's a tough fit. But in that fit, you have to bring your friends to the party. But I got to give my friends a chance to make a play. That backer sitting right there hovering, he got to come down. He got to come down and stop this play, plug that hole right there.
So it's numbers. It's being aggressive downhill. And I just think it's a mindset, Tana. Put on the Rydell. Put on the Rydell in there and let's mix it up now, right?
Yeah.
So this guy, Landon Dickerson, he weighs about 360 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, Frankie Louisville, he's a dog though, right?
Yeah.
So when I see this is counter, it's the same exact play. They're going to pull the guard. Tana, this looks like the best way to handle this, right?
Cut him to pieces.
Tana, what do you call that? Crash Bandicoot?
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Blow the whole damn party out.
I want the pulling guard to be in this position.
Yeah.
That's the correct position, right?
Yeah.
Let's build a wall there. What we talked about that front side double team, remember against Green Bay?
Yeah.
They got up here. Watch our guy Duran. He says, I know what's going on. I'm going to play back across the block and penetrate up the field. I'm going to block the second puller. There's nowhere to go. All right. He's not tackled yet. There's a big pile here. We love that. But then watch the hats work to the ball. Work to the ball.
Bring your friends. That's what they say.
Come to the
Because
party.
against Green Bay, what happened, right? He jump cut for a touchdown. Pursue to the football.
Yeah.
Be aggressive. And I love how they do it. Everyone's in their gaff until the ball is declared, and then we get out, right? We get the tackle. So for me, this is exactly what needs to happen, right?
Yes.
Physical, down in and down out, 40 plays, mouthpiece in, Rydell on. Let's get after it. Someone who knows a little bit about the Rydell.
Hey man, hey, put the hat on, get to work. I want to hear pads cracking and helmets smacking. That's an ode to my high school, man. Coaches used to say that all the time. But yeah, I hope if y'all haven't seen the full show, that is the Commanders, Washington Commanders YouTube channel, Command Center. That came out yesterday evening. But from a 3-minute standpoint, like that's a perfect way to kind of surmise how Washington needs to play on Sunday from a discipline standpoint, gap discipline. And when people used to say after they beat Philly that second game, yeah, y'all could just key in on Saquon because Jalen Hurts wasn't around. Technically true, but also it goes much further than that. And they showed it, like from your hat placement to where, you locate, at the point of attack, where you are establishing your gap and maintaining your gap integrity. And also how you execute from the second and third level for run support against Saquon Barkley. All of that is essential. And all of that had nothing to do with a Jalen Hurts. That had to do with your discipline, reading your keys and executing. And Washington stepped their game up after those first 7 carries of the game against Saquon, where he went for over 100 yards. I am. Hey, Alex, I'm gonna be lit before the game, but I don't know. I'm about to lie again. But I don't know I'm gonna be drunk during the game. But honestly, because I know where I'm gonna be on Sunday. If they let me drink at their crib, bring some alcohol in their crib, I may do that. Otherwise, I'm gone at halftime. They right down the street, so I go back to the crib. Marshawn is locked in. He loved his culture that we have. That's a fact. You need a Luke McCaffrey touchdown. Hey, Outlaw, you got money on Luke? How many snaps has Luke played in the playoffs? Let's figure this part out. I don't think he played much. I ain't gonna lie to you. Which is fine. That's just like who was it yesterday? Somebody said they wanted they think it's a game for Ben Sinnott. Gotta let that one go. Gotta let that one go, bro. It ain't no game for Ben. This is a game for Zach. All right, let's see. How many games has Luke McCaffrey played? How many snaps has Luke McCaffrey played in the postseason? Snap counts. Where's Luke? Luke McCaffrey, 17 snaps against the Buccaneers. That's 23%. And then against the Lions, snap counts. 8 snaps, 11%. He's played 25 snaps in the playoffs. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Kellen Moore is basic. I'm glad you acknowledge it. He's a liar. I don't like liars. I mean, I know you knew that, but I don't like liars. I'm gonna call them out every time. Kenny, what's up, player? Good morning to all the morning trappers. I see you. Sunday can't get here soon enough. That's a fact. What a difference a year makes. I can't even begin to comprehend everything that's come, like, that's happened to Washington so far. And for it to be 2 years after that guy's removal of ownership, like, I think this year that Washington is having, it's I don't think I've ever seen karma, like, realistically. I mean, excuse me, I don't think it's ever, like, come quick enough. Like, come this fast, bro. Pause. Like, I've never, the fact that you reached this height and elevated 2 years after dude was gone, and after a year where you only won 3 games, you won 14 and can win 15 after this week. Bro, come on. Come on, bro. That man put us through 20 plus years of torture. We had to wait 20 plus years for him to say, I'm done. I'm this toy no longer suits me. And everybody on social media, bro, like, I know they're trolling. I know most of them are trolling. I know some of them are dead serious. But for them to say that Washington fans came out of the woodworks, or Washington fans, like, they ain't been at FedEx Field, all of a sudden they everywhere. I can't believe y'all are that dense. For those who are serious, I can't believe y'all are that dense. If y'all are in the NFC East division, you know exactly who our owner was. You know exactly why most of them couldn't support the team. I, for one, was a person who loved going to games, road games. I don't step foot in FedEx Field at all. I was a road game guy. I go to the road games, bro. What a difference a year makes, Kenny. This is just one of those years where, like, everything sinks in and you're like, yo, things have really changed. And, you know, we're at a point where, like, we just can't wait until we do more. Like, they've always said for years prior to this year, they've always said the league is better when Washington is good and when Dallas is good. And, like, those OG teams, Chicago, all that stuff, like I forgot what they call it. Like the phrase, the old guards, when all the old guards are good. At least at least one of those teams are actually good. To hell with Dallas, bro. Fuck Dallas. I hope Dallas is sorry, bro, for real, for a long time. I hope they are. I hope Dallas is sorry for a long time. I'm not playing, bro. For the amount of years that they talked all this trash about Washington, and truthfully, how Washington struggled from a coaching standpoint, didn't have successful seasons, all of that. Y'all still never made it this far. As long as we've been trash under Dan Snyder, y'all have never made it this far as Washington has. But y'all got all that nerve to talk all that trash. And now the only thing you got left to say is, I don't think JD that good, or JD fall off on the way, or he ain't. Somebody said on social media, only reason why JD made it this far because he ain't had a Lamar Jackson to face in the conference. Have you ever stopped to think that Jayden Daniels is about to be the Lamar Jackson of the conference? Like, have you ever stopped to think that Jayden Daniels might be the quarterback to beat moving forward in the NFC? Pat Mahomes, everything goes through Kansas City in the AFC conference. That don't exist in the NFC. And we may be witnessing in real time who is going to take the crown or take that reign in the NFC conference. Now I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm acknowledging that. I understand it. But I'm just saying, like, in real time, I remember asking this question to Kevin Sheehan. Kevin Sheehan came on the show maybe September. It was before, I think it was before the Baltimore game. I said, sometimes no. It was Pat Mahomes. It was a Pat Mahomes question. That's what it was. Yes. So it wasn't Kevin Sheehan. It was two different points, but I can bring the point back that I asked for Kevin Sheehan. But I asked this question about Pat Mahomes, excuse me. And the question is, were we witnessing in real time the greatest quarterback of all time, like playing his prime career? Like, are we witnessing that right now? Valid question. But some people disagree that was the case, or disagree. Like, you don't know what his future holds, so you can't say that we're witnessing it. But the whole premise of the question revolves around understanding what you're seeing and actually doing some projecting. Like, this dude is having the greatest career of Pat Mahomes, I'm talking about, of any quarterback that I can think of. Like, and in that moment, you got to understand, like, the way that things are going, the feats that he's accomplishing. He's on the road to a three-peat. Again, this conversation was had in September. So if Washington makes it, we ain't talking about no three-peat. See what I'm saying? But my point, are we witnessing in the moment the greatest quarterback of all time in his prime? That applies to other people in the NFL. That exists for Pat Mahomes in his respective conversation. And for Jayden Daniels, his respective conversation is, are we witnessing the quarterback in the NFC to beat? Like, is this going to be the quarterback that you got to beat, that you got to walk through FedEx Field, Northwest Stadium, and you got to beat Jayden Daniels on his home turf moving forward? Is that going to be the guy to beat? Or whether he's in Northwest or he's on the road, is this the guy that you got to beat? So far, he's 2-0 in the postseason. And in big games, close games, I don't know exactly what is. I mean, I don't know exactly off the top of my head exactly what his record is in close games, but you already know how dangerous he is when he got the ball in his hands late in the game. So I think people just need to understand, especially Dallas fans, like, if you think that y'all are turning the corner anytime soon, God bless. But if you think this is a season where Jayden is having all the success because there's nobody good enough to beat him, have you ever thought that he is the guy that's too good to beat? Jeremy Chan helped a lot coming down in the box in some of those runs in Detroit. Sly, what's up, player? Good morning. Good morning, Trappers. D-line has to play square. Can't get pushed sideways or pick sides on Sunday. I agree. You just got to stay disciplined. You got to trust your teammates. Trust everybody to do their job. That's what I was saying. You can't take anything he used to say seriously. Not EB when he says he was straight up 25 years, bro. That's what I'm saying. He's about to be the Pat Mahomes of the NFC. That's like nobody ever stopped to think that he's just gonna be that good. Like, you think that there's a barrier in front of him? Like, what if he is the barrier? What if the buck stops at Jayden? And we're witnessing that in real time. Like, nobody thought about that possibility. I understand. Skeptics exist. Skepticism is a real thing. Pessimism is a real thing. I get it. People are finally seeing how big of a drag Snyder was on the. Oh, Lord Jesus, that's what I get for reading. We don't say this name around these parts. People finally get to see how big of a drag the previous owner was on the franchise. He made a lot of personnel decisions that were a disaster. Not even just personnel, and we know that. He made franchise-altering decisions that was on and off the field. I'm a fan since 75, and yeah, I'm old. Just had a birthday. Hold on, bruh. Come on, man. First and foremost, happy belated. If I was super sophisticated on this channel, I would know how to, like, I'd have a birthday button on hand or something like that, or some balloons. If I was on my laptop, we could do the little balloon, the confetti thing. I'm sure. You're a fan since 75. I'm older. Just had a birthday. I feel young again, not physically but mentally. Go Commanders! Hey man, that's a blessing. That's a blessing, bro. I mean, you still healthy, bro. Like I got family. I'm not going to dive too deep into it because we're in a good space. That literally is having health, like close family that's having like some health scares this week, bro. And I may be in the hospital Sunday watching the game. See what I'm saying? Like I'm going to brunch before, but I may be in the hospital Sunday watching the game, and that's fine with me, bro. Because we at this point in my life where I never seen nothing like this. But the person I'm talking about, he's seen 3 Super Bowls. But it's been a long time for him. Same thing, person who ain't, he had to wait 25 years. I'm gonna watch this game with the family. So it's a blessing that you happy belated, JB, and I hope you have a great weekend leading up to the game, and I hope the Commanders, send us all to New Orleans, bro, for real. Nobody wants to coach the Cowboys. Yeah, that's why they got dude. I agree. That's why they got dude. He's gonna do his bidding for Jerry. He may have a couple good seasons here and there, like a splash season, just like that boy, that previous owner in Washington. He may have that. But yeah, good luck, bro. Y'all ain't even got no money. What y'all gonna do? Y'all ain't got no money, bro. Jarrell, what's up? Good morning. Sunday can't come soon enough. Well, we got 2 more sleeps. Friday night, Saturday night. Well, when I'm off work, boy, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep at what time I get off? 3 o'clock. I'm going to sleep at 3:30. I better close my eyes and wake up and it be Saturday, 8 a.m. Dakota gonna have to fend for herself. She better walk herself and be back at the house by 8 p.m. I'm playing, but damn, bro, I can't wait. Hey, man, same to you. Good morning, RWF. I gotta find a more fitting nickname for you. I'm just calling you Real. What up, Real? It was beautiful to see when we were the standard across the league. Yeah, that I saw the post. Let's see. Where's the one that I commented on? This was like, I hear it. Oh yeah, here it is. 41 years ago to the day. This was January 22nd. There was a time in the NFL where the Washington Redskins had the best record over a 34 game span. And from this screen grab, it looks like this was the Redskins versus Raiders Super Bowl. And the last 34 games of that time, 41 years ago, I am saying that right, today. The Redskins were 31-3 over their last 34 games. That was the best in the league by a 6-game margin. 31-3. over 34 games, bro. That is incredible. Like, I would love to see Washington in that pantheon. I think I said that word right. Of teams like moving forward, bro. Like, put us up there with the Kansas City Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens, Buffalo Bills. Put us up there. We still got work to do, but I would love to see it. Oh, it was a regular season game. Yeah, because they played them twice. I remember that. They played them twice. Washington won in the regular season. And the Raiders obviously got it back in the bowl. Okay. Oh, this season. Oh, the same season. Yeah. Okay. Okay. What's up, D? I can't, for whatever reason, the emoji ain't popping up. But what's up, D? Good morning to all the morning shoppers checking in live. All right, so let's actually have a conversation about some of the awards that's come out, right? Title of the show. Mike Sainristil, Jayden Daniels, finalist snubs. Let me pull up where the finalists. Oh, we got okay. Oh yeah, let me just go to NFL Twitter channel. Twitter page. Oh yeah, they got them all up. Okay, let me present. Share my screen. All right, let's start with MVP. So MVP wise, man, who we got up there? We got Josh Allen. That's correct. He should be a finalist. Saquon should be a finalist. Lamar should be a finalist. The season that Joe Burrow had, he had a great season, bro. And honestly, I don't think he's up. I don't think he's named a finalist. Excuse me. I don't think Joe Burrow is named a finalist if it wasn't for social media. I really don't. And the reason why I say that is because, first and foremost, he's not going to win the MVP. All right. His team didn't even make the playoffs. But there was one point in the season where there was like, 3-4 games under 500, and they had to win out. And sure, they got a winning record at the end, 9-8. But we're talking about a Cincinnati Bengals team who were losing. There's 4 players on this list who had something in common. Like, they're all top 4 seeds in their respective conference. Joe Burrow didn't even make the playoffs. And when we talk about a quarterback and Jayden, who is well on his way. Like, first of all, let me rephrase. He led his team to. So this is one thing that I want to acknowledge, and it's fair. It's also not fair. I don't know how you want to, like, y'all may not agree with me, and that's fine. I'll put that out there. Y'all may not agree with me. But technically, Jayden led him to a 10-5 record. They took him out of the Panthers game. Mariota won that. That's 11-5. And then at halftime, I think Washington was trailing against the Cowboys in the game, the Week 18 game, but they won it 12-5. I don't think that the finalists are thinking that deeply into it. And that's the first and last time that I'll acknowledge that. So he led them to a 12-5 record. Jayden did. But he was the backbone of the team, backbone of that offense. And Joe Burrow put up some gaudy numbers. Like, he has a Triple Crown receiver on his roster because of him. Right? But at the end of the day, when you talk about what a quarterback or a valuable player looks like, it don't get no more exemplary than Jayden. He did a lot for this team. You know, he was super efficient, like from a blanket term, obviously, but super efficient. He's lethal in so many different areas of the game. And so, in Joe Burrow, he's a lethal passer. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He put pressure on every single opponent that he faced. But at the end of the day, we're talking about 4 people up there who has something in common, and there's one person who doesn't. I think Jayden, as a rookie, bro, should have been recognized for a person that was one of the more valuable players in the NFL this season. And maybe it's just a sad thing. Maybe they're just saying, hey, man, if you put up better stats, you know, we'll get you in next time. I have no idea. But Jayden needed to be up there. Goff's out of there. The rib injury hurt Jayden because that's a numbers award. Mual, you right, bro. Should be off the list more so than Goff. Man, I'd rather him win the Super Bowl MVP anyway. Hey, D, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. Let's move forward. I think this was a snub, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think this was a snub given the totality of the season. Joe Burrow, again, great numbers, but at the end of the day, he ain't got nothing in common with those other 4 people on that list. Where we at? Who's next? Rookie of the year. I mean, come on. Shout out to Brock Bowers, though. You know what I love about Brock? I think Brock was like the can't miss prospect in terms of tight ends. Like, can't miss. Like, you can draft him at number, example, you could draft him at number 2. You could draft him number 4. Draft him number 8. Draft him at 30. You could draft him in the 5th round. He was a can't miss. I think if you watch college, bro, he was one of those players, bro, like you knew as a freshman, he was a dog, bro. What throws me off is the fact that, like, I think he just need to go bald. Like, his hair is already thin, and like he may be stressed out or something. I don't know what's bothering him at home. I do think he just need to go bald, bro. That's gonna look worse. He's gonna look worse, but I mean, he looks bad now. So just go bald. Who knows, bro? Like, if he gets some facial hair. Look at me talking, bro. I got a little chin here. Got some. Like, when I take pictures, you can see it. You know what I'm saying? And when I look in the mirror, you can't really see it on this camera. But but if he grows some facial hair, he go bald. You know what I'm saying? Just cut the hair off, bro. Or get the toilet bowl cut. Get the bowl, bro, where you cut all this right here. You just got hair on the side. But nah, Brock, bro, he great player. Like, I think he deserves it more than Bo Nix. We already know who about to win it, Jayden. No question. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's his offensive rookie of the year on. He just got to get his speech ready. But Brock, I think, earned it more than Bo, and I'm not even hating, bro. Like, you talking about a tight end who is a top 3 in yards for receivers and tight ends. I'm about to go double check that because I think that's true. It was true at one point, but I'm about to double check. Brock Bowers, 3rd in receptions, 8th in receiving yards. Come on, man. as a tight end, 22 years old. See, like he looked like he even like a 25-year-old rookie, bro. Cut the hair off. That boy a dog, bro. Anyway, Jayden Daniels honored right there. But here is the conversation that bothers me the most. Defensive Rookie of the Year. This bothers me. This bothers me. Let me check in with the chat right quick. It wasn't prepared for Marcus because he didn't want to play in that game. Or they would have went back to back. This year's draft was a draft. It's a fact. Really was. Even the quarterbacks in this class, man. Is Dakota here? What's up, Dakota? Look at the quarterbacks Brock Bowers had. That's a fact. That's what I'm saying, man. He had like 3-4 different quarterbacks. None of them good. And I respect Gardner Minshew. But I lost respect for him when he threw that pick 6 against Denver. And I had the Raiders plus the 3. And they was winning at the time. I think 10-7 driving in the end zone. And they never got the lead back after that pick 6. F.U. Gardner. Right. Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell. Damn, he got both more picks than both of them combined. Quinyon ain't got no picks. Oh, hold on. Let me look. Bro, Quinyon ain't got no picks. Quinyon ain't got no picks. Cooper ain't got no picks. That's embarrassing. But see, you know what's crazy? I said this. Now, I'm cool with one of them. I don't even care who. I mean, I know Quinyon had the better season, but like realistically speaking, I don't care if they kept Cooper or Quinyon on the list. I'm fine with either one. I don't give a damn who they kept. But there is no way both of them are not on. Both of them are on this list, and Mike Sainristil is left off. Like that's a complete snub. You're talking about a person who got more action, who made more plays at the ball, who turned the football over, and got no recognition for it. And I even think, honestly, Jared Verse is going to win it. I think Jared Verse is going to win it. But at the end of the day, Cooper and Quinyon both on the list don't make no sense. And like I think, I mean, and voters ain't gonna necessarily take this into consideration, but bro, he not even playing his position. Not even playing slot. He been doing all this on the outside. He been doing all this on the outside, bro. This one was a little frustrating. And I didn't know that neither one of them had interceptions. Sure. I mean, you know what's also something to take into consideration, bro? When you got a nickname like Guantanamo Bay, you're gonna get recognition. Especially if your team winning. If your team winning, you're gonna get recognition with a nickname like Guantanamo Bay as a rookie. Like, how can you not get left? How can you not get excluded? How can you not keep saying it wrong? How can you get excluded from the list with a nickname like that? You can't. This is a award made for you. And while I think Jared Verse gonna win it, I also wouldn't be surprised if Quinyon wins it. Again, name recognition as a rookie. Like you don't really, and your team 14-3, and you in the conference championship game. So I wouldn't be surprised if Quinyon wins it. But Jared Verse is my pick. And that was if Mikey Sainristil was on the list or not. I think Jared Verse, I think both them boys in LA, they was good this year. They was real tough. So I think Jared gonna win it. But I wouldn't be surprised if Quinyon is a close two. Like that nickname, tough. It's a really good nickname. It's stuck in year one. And from the outside perspective, that boy was strapping. He got his first against the Packers. Okay. I know Mikey got 2 in the postseason, but he got 1 in the regular season against the Ravens. How can you say he had the better season? Look at their front sevens. You think this is over versus all day? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Where I think versus the winner. DeJean over Mikey don't make no sense. Seeing he didn't start the season. Yeah, he really. I don't wait. How many? He didn't, but I'm trying to. Let me get down to the bottom of that because I've seen that a couple times. Where is Cooper? Like, he started 9 games. Oh, he didn't even. Yeah, he didn't play against Green Bay. He didn't play against Atlanta. Let's look at his game logs 2024. Yeah, he played 6 snaps on defense. Bruh, he ain't started playing snaps until October 13th. Who was that? That was the 5th game of the season against Cleveland. His first start. He was basically inactive the first 4 games. He played a total on defense. He played a total of 8 snaps defensively prior to the 5th game. I'll tell you a lot. But I mean, if people explode on the scene, like Cooper aside, if you miss like the first couple games of a season, like I think about Odell Beckham his rookie year. I think he had a quiet start to the season if I recall. And obviously the Sunday night football game put him on the map and he took off. But I think he missed some time as a rookie as well. I'm about to double check, make sure my memory right. But I truly don't remember Odell starting off. It says he played 11 games or 12 games. Why are they showing? Oh, I'm stupid. I was like, why are y'all showing me 9 games? What does that make sense? Yeah, his first 4 games of the season was nothing. He was inactive. And then he put himself on the map with the Sunday night game. Which one was that? It was the home game though. So why are they showing that's at Dallas? Oh, the home game versus Dallas. Yeah. That was November 23. 10 catches, 146 yards. But before that, that boy was cooking. He had 90. He missed the first 4 games. Odell did, but finished the season with 91 catches, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. So to the point of like generally speaking, not Cooper, but like that's why I was like I don't really care about like if they didn't start the season, because you can really impact and be dominant if you miss some time. But to the point though, and to what we're talking about, like if you ain't been watching Mikey, just say that. When Maddox got hurt? Okay, that's actually that's hilarious. Like reading this, Deshaun began twerked in coverage. Okay. Shout out to Coach of the Year. Dan Quinn is up there. Who do y'all think wins this one, though, realistically speaking? You got Dan Campbell, 15 and 3 season. Well, no, I'm tripping. 15 and 4 season. I'm tripping. 15 and 2. I'm thinking disregard be 15 and 2 regular season, but 15 and 3. You know, that third loss, you know where that came from. So we got O'Connell, Dan Campbell, 15 and 2, Minnesota, 14 and 3, Sean Payton, 10 and 7, Andy Reid, 15 and 2. Hey, that's tough. Oh, Dan Quinn, I'm sorry. I just Dan Quinn, 12 and 5. That's tough. An 8-win turnaround is good, but you know who right behind him is Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell has 7. He had a 7 plus 7 turnaround, and he did it with Sam Darnold. So I don't. I guess close. Like that's what I say. It's a tough list, bro. And Dan Quinn had a hell of a season out of nowhere in terms of like from a natural perspective. Nobody really saw this coming, but like he up there with some dogs. And I think honestly, three coaches deserve this. I think Dan Campbell, I think people are sleeping on his trajectory from the Lions, bro. Like Dan Campbell, 3-13-1 his first season. 9-8 his second season. It's a +6 increase. 12-5 in 2023. That's another plus in his win increments, +3. And then 15-2 in your fourth season, bro. Another plus win increment. That's +3, bro. And you had one of the best offenses in the NFL, bro. Led by Jared Goff. All right. You had a really good defense before the injuries took you apart, depleted you. That's a strong season, bro. But you know, you ain't make it out of your first game in the playoffs, though. I don't know how this is going to be evaluated. I wonder if the picks are already made and those are just the final nominees. I don't know. Kevin O'Connell, we just went through that. Kansas City last year, 11-6. So Andy Reid had a +4 win increase to 15-2. And what this year is a little different from what perspective? I mean, Travis Kelce's older. That boy 35. He's 35 years old. Travis Kelce is older. Your receivers kind of put you through hell this year. You know, you had a rookie in Xavier Worthy that was pretty inconsistent his first few games. I sized it. It was more than his first few games. He was inconsistent basically all year. I mean, you got D-Hop in the middle of the season. He didn't really do shit for you for real. Yeah, I mean, you had to get Juju to come back to the mob. And you know what's crazy, bro? Juju he has two touchdowns on the season, and both of those came in one game. I'm tripping. Oh no, the Atlanta game was the one where I was looking. All right, they didn't come in one game. Andy Reid got a tough case, but I don't think he wins it. I think it comes down to Dan. I think it comes down to Kevin. think it comes down to both Dans. Excuse me, Dan Quinn, Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell. Jay Tizzy said O'Connell or Dan Quinn. Real said Dan. Sly says, oh yeah, we talked about that. Got to be Dan Quinn. A+ in 1 year is incredible. I know everyone say Vikings surprise everyone, but we the real story. I think from if you think from a macro perspective, bro, I think the Vikings got they got a story too. Hate to say it, Kevin O'Donnell. Yeah, they were expected to be good, but like 15-2. It's only 2 teams, Jay Tizzy, that was 15-2. And it's the first time that anybody in the 17 game era won 15 games. So this is pretty major, bro. Shit, last year I'm looking at last year. It's 2023. The most a team won was 13 games. That was the Baltimore Ravens. 2022. It's wild. Damn, 14 games is the most in 2022. $13 games in 2023. That was it. It's wild, bro. That the one time you get teams to win 15 games in the season, like 2 teams do it. Nah, Slime. Look, I get it. I mean, technically, that's the same story with Dan, but the regular season still exists. But that's why I'm like, I don't know with these honors, I don't know when the voting stops. If the voting is still occurring, then yeah, I think Dan Quinn has a significant lead on several of these guys. I think it'll come down to just Dan and Andy. But I don't know when the voting stops. I'm just thinking about, that's what I'm thinking about. But you ain't wrong. They embarrassed themselves the last 2 games, bro. And honestly, when I say they, I mean Sam. I mean, a lot of the mistakes offensively came down to their offensive line and Sam. Kelsey like Zach at this point. Fair enough. Okay. So we passed all that. Let's keep things pushing. What did I bookmarked some things? Let me see what I can find. So we got the white and okay. They staying with the same unis they've been wearing the first two games. White jersey, burgundy pants, burgundy socks. Zach Ertz, they know what they're doing, putting Zach Ertz on that cover. Let me share. Yeah, they know what they're doing. Let's see what Tyler Biotis got to say.
Everybody knows what's on Sunday. Everybody knows.
My bad. Hold on. Let me turn my headset back on. All right.
Everybody knows what's at stake on Sunday. So is it possible to treat this like any other game, like any other Sunday in the fall? Is there a challenge in itself to not make this bigger than it already is?
No, only one goal is to beat Philly.
Oh, that man kept it short and simple. Let's see what Darius Butler had to say. I know he's showing the. I mean, he think this play changed the game. I think it did, but
Pre-snap be showing
what really
cover
changed
3.
the game was Was that strip sack?
Single high. Looks like either man-to-man or cover 3 because you have that one middle of the field safety. Post snap, you're going to rotate, and you'll see it rotate down here to cover 2. With Lattimore being a flat defender. You got the safety over top, Quan Martin. And then the depth of that, if you run it back real quick. Actually let it keep playing. Because you see the overthrow, you see the return, great return. Got a great block by Frankie Louisville. Oh, Jared Goff, this changes the game. We talk about cut blocks and look back blocks. When you hit the quarterback like this changes the game. But right here, Jared Goff, the protection up front, great pocket, right? They've done this all year. In the intermediate pass game, Jared Goff, especially when protected or coming off play action, is one of the best quarterbacks all year long. But great drops. You look at that defender right there on the hash mark. He's an underneath defender. And then you have Lattimore, who's the flat defender on the outside. So Jared Goff, you have a check down here on 2nd and 14, Laporta right there in your face, but he tries to go to the deep one, Patrick. And because of that dropper, he tries to put air on it, put too much air on it. I always talk about tips and overthrows. You got to have those. And whenever you get points on the board, it gets an explosive offense and get a hit on that quarterback. Big time play here from the Commanders. And it's
not only has he had the best rookie season ever, you can make the case it's the most impactful rookie season ever. I mean, just the way that we have quickly viewed the organization, the way that he has elevated the football team, the way that now, I mean, this is a destination for a lot of guys in the next couple months. Like, I want to go play in Washington with this young man. Yeah. And I agree with Shefty. If they somehow go on the road to be, in many ways, a rival, but a division foe who's got the best football team roster-wise in the NFL, this becomes a completely different conversation. We are automatically putting him in the groups with Joe Burrows and the Josh Allens and the Lamar Jacksons and then Patrick Mahomes. And I don't know if anybody's gotten to that group that quickly.
And absolutely. And you look at that, it's the scary.
I'm not against what he's saying, but I'm like, ain't he at this point already, bro? Like, none of them as a rookie has done what he's done. But I get what he's saying. He's talking about current status Lamar, current status Joe, all of them. Like, what he's doing right now, what's from a on the field standpoint, processing, decision making, anticipation, playmaking. What is he doing now? Currently, today, January 24th, 2025, that the other quarterbacks he named are doing better. Like, I think he's in the same tier of these guys. He got to beat Philly to do it. I don't think so. I mean, we all would love for things to go for the good guys. But he's in that boat right now. What do you say? An average QBR is 50, a perfect is 100. During Washington's 7-game win streak, Jayden Daniels had a 98.5 QBR when blitz. That's 81 plays. 71% completion percentage, 41 first downs, 3 sacks taken. Bro, you mean to tell me that man got blitzed 3 sacks? I mean, he didn't got blitzed 81 plays and only got sacked 3 times during the blitz. 71% completion percentage. This is a throwback, but let's see what Baldy got to say about his play in Arizona State.
Let's go back to 2019. Jayden Daniels, an 18-year-old freshman, playing the 5th-ranked Oregon Ducks in the 4th quarter, and he drops back and he throws this go route, a double move to Brandon Ayuk. Hits him perfectly in stride, 81 yards to take the lead and to knock the Ducks off. And when you watch Jayden Daniels, he looks just like he does right now. He's just as calm. He's just as poised. He's just as fundamentally sound. And his touch, the golden touch on the deep ball to Ayuk, it's the same as he has right now to McLaurin or Diami Brown or to Zacchaeus. Like, the guy is just made for big games. And the Eagles got to contend with Jayden Daniels on Sunday afternoon for the AFC Championship game. It's going to be a doozy, just like it was in Tempe on that Saturday night.
Oh, for real? I didn't even know that. So they know what time it is. They got the history down pat. That's what's up. Let me go ahead and start that. I ain't know that. That's what's up. I seen this. I didn't watch the full podcast yet, so I don't know if y'all watched the showing on YouTube. We do like them one-on-one competitions and go to the high school games and stuff like that. Actually a kicker in the UFL now, bro. That's what's up. I don't know if he's still playing, but because I know he hurt his neck, broke his neck last year. But he got a podcast. Mike Sainristil was on that jump yesterday, or they released it yesterday, maybe, or 2 days ago.
Jamison Williams has it. Looking to throw it. Going to throw it downfield. Intercept.
What were you thinking when you seen J-Mo, like you knew he was about to throw it, right?
I'm like, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Not about to do this. That was beautiful, bro.
Off a trick play, trying to throw the ball to a running back. That's disrespectful. So I needed that one.
That's actually, I still don't understand what Jameson was doing, bro. Like I'm thinking clearly you about to throw the ball away. But after he threw it to the running back, bro, first of all, trying to throw back shoulder, like what was you doing? Jameson was trying to go home, bro. He was sick of how this game was going. J-Mo was ready to go home, bro. Shout out to him, though. That's AJ's guy. Thanks for being stupid. Hey, look, I ain't even see you said that. I was like, thanks for being stupid, bro. Ain't no way. Okay, so let's see what Luke Kuechly had to say about how the Commanders can stop Saquon.
I don't have the numbers. I wish I did from the first 2 times they met each other and what Saquon did to the Washington Commanders. Any adjustment that you would make if you were out there coaching to try to stop and bottle them up? Some of the greats, some of your favorite people are out there trying to do it.
I think you look at, Frankie and Bobby. Obviously, this offensive line's been talking all season. There's going to be run lanes for Saquon. That's a given. But I think how you attack Saquon is really important in the sense of if you let him speed you up and slow you down, and he gets you to slow your feet down, he's going to be able to stop and start substantially faster than you are. So kind of the approach when you play a guy like this as a linebacker is trust your angle with the football, run through his hip, and make him make a drastic cut. If he's going north and south, he's a difficult guy to get on the ground. But Bobby and Frankie, if they can go meet him in the hole at full speed, make him make a drastic cut in the hole, it slows him down just for that extra half second. And guys like Jeremy Chin and the rest of that defense can kind of come pick up the slack. But if you sit and you let him make moves on you and you get passive in the hole, that's when he's dangerous. Go attack and get downhill, attack his hip, trust your angle, and make him make that drastic cut. If he makes you miss, it's okay. We just need him to turn it back to the rest of the defense.
That's one thing that the coaches emphasized. I think it was Joe Witt or Dan Quinn. Like, don't lose track of his inside hip. Like when you get in your angles, don't understand which angle you're taking, but never lose track as well of his inside hip. Inside hip gonna tell you everything. And Luke Kuechly's kind of expressing that in his response as well. Like that hip, like don't lose sight of that hip, bro. So okay, Akbar actually thinks that Washington will stop Saquon. Let's hear what he has to say.
The numbers don't actually tell the entire story. When I go back and I look at that first game for the Washington Commanders, they pretty much locked up Saquon Barkley until the fourth quarter. When you look at his 146 yards that he had in that, 6 carries and 76 yards came in the fourth quarter. Like, think about that. They were actually playing well. And when I watch it, I love the way they utilize Jeremy Chin and, of course, Frankie Louvu. Those guys are very, very dynamic. You'll see Jeremy Chin pop up in different places, and I think that, to me, is going to be the key. Same thing happened in the second game. You saw there were 4 explosive plays. So, to me, if the Commanders are going to defeat the Eagles, it will have to be because of these 2 guys and they stop the explosive plays. I'll tell you, when you watch Jeremy Chin, he lines up at the nickel corner, or nickel linebacker. He lines up at free safety. He lines up at strong safety. He lines up in multiple places. Oh, my goodness, that's a bombonical hit right there. And on top of that, you think about Louisville. Louisville went off in this game as well. These guys can create havoc because they're dynamic. And I look at Louisville. Louisville also lines up an inside linebacker, outside linebacker, defensive end. You go, well, why are these guys moving around so much? It makes it very hard for an offense to figure out personnel when you have guys who are that dynamic. So they have an opportunity, and they've shown it in the game. You eliminate those 4 explosive plays in that second game, they literally could control the run. So I'm going to go that they have an opportunity if they can do that.
I respect it, but that's also something that people don't take into account. Like, we always talk about that second game specifically. He went off for 7 for like 109 something, 108, 120 something yards. But after that, the man had 22 carries. He was averaging less than 3.5 yards a carry. Saquon was after those first 7 carries in the first quarter. The first game, he didn't pop off until to the fourth quarter. And that was with Jalen Hurts. That was with Jalen Hurts at quarterback. Come on, man. Okay. So I got to get to work. But I got one more clip that I want to play. Let's play this. Let's actually see. Yeah. All right, let's play this about Jayden, Peter Schrags. Peter's a good storyteller. So we're gonna play this clip. We'll talk about it. And yeah, we can close out with like some gambling stuff.
Gosh, Cliff knew this from like day one. So what you need to know is that this whole marriage was almost by accident. Cliff was very interested in the Chicago Bears offensive coordinator job last year. He put a suit and tie on and met with Ryan Poles and
He didn't. I don't think he played in either of the Eagles games. Vanilla, I may be wrong about the first game, but I don't remember him playing in either of the Eagles games. He definitely didn't play in the second one.
Matt Eberflus for 8 hours to discuss whether or not he was the next offensive coordinator of the Chicago Bears. And the main reason he was so interested was because Caleb Williams and him had this wonderful, rich relationship for the year they were together at USC. They met with Cliff for 8 hours, and they promptly hired Shane Waldron. Okay. He met with Philadelphia and was really interested there and thought, wow, Jalen Hurts has a lot to like, and he's about the right stuff. Didn't get that job. It went to Kellen Moore, and to Howie Roseman's credit, called Cliff directly. It was like, dude, we loved you, but like, we're going a different direction. Cliff was like, great. Then the Raiders job comes up. No quarterback of note, but he really liked Antonio Pierce, and he really liked the idea of building this thing in Vegas. And okay, if we've got the right people and the right juice, there was an issue with the amount of years that he was offered in his contract. At the last second, he backed out. The second he backs out, he gets a call from Dan Quinn, who had taken the job recently, and says, hey, would you be interested in maybe joining me and doing this thing out here in Washington? And Cliff hadn't even thought about it and was like, Jayden Daniels? Hell yeah. So what you don't know is that this was like the fourth swing at it, and then he gets there, and it was magic. I put on my top 10 breakout players of the year list before the season.
Pause. Let's stop there for a second. Think about that. Like I said, Peter is I'm gonna see if I want to try and get him on the show. Yes, bruh. Yes, Cliff dodged some bullets. And I think the way that Peter describes this story, bro, like, this ain't just redemption for, and kind of, we already knew it with Cliff, but like for so many different angles, right? Think about his perception when he does these interviews, right? They call him, or not even respond to him. One tells him in Philly that we're going to go a different route. Others don't even, like, he finds out through the hiring transaction itself. But Cliff isn't even respected enough to get a job when he takes another swing at the NFL. The Raiders like him, but the situation ain't good enough contractually. And he does himself a favor and backs out. And then you get an opportunity from a person who actually wants you. It also happens to be the head coach of a team who has a number 2 overall pick. So you're going to get a dog at quarterback. Like, this redemption story for Cliff is just as impressive as it is for Dan Quinn. He ain't the only one. Jeremy Chin, defensively, redemption story. He needed it. Austin Eckler, now maybe on a lower scale, but injury-wise, people counted him out. He needed it. Zach Ertz, one of the bigger redemption stories on the offense. He needed it. Cliff wanted him. They didn't expect him to do this much. They said it. They said as much in their pressers. They said, "Hey, man, we just expect him to do red zone, maybe third down, something like that." But he is a feature in the offense. Who else can I think of? I mean, think about the people that they signed on the defensive line. I'm talking about like the actual stragglers, not like Dorrance. Dorrance, they paid Dorrance Armstrong. I'm talking about like Sheldon Day. Sheldon Day ain't having like some elite season, but he's playing good. He's playing good ball. All right. Dante Fowler, he's playing good ball. He wasn't like in a redemption phase, but they needed him. And I need Dante to come alive against Philly too, by the way. You need to wake his ass up. I know he's making plays in the run game, but God damn, make some plays as a pass rusher. Please. Please. Get a strip sack, please. Let's continue, because I'm rapping.
I never put rookies on that list.
Yeah.
I put Jayden Daniels 1 solely on what Cliff was saying, that this guy is built different. He's the first one in the building. Now you could say, well, Cliff had Kyler, so there's obviously some scar tissue there. No. First one in the building. And Cliff told me, I've been around Mahomes. I've been around Manziel. I've been around Kyler. I've been around Davis Webb. I've been around all these guys. There might be no cerebral quarterback out of the gate than what it is with Jayden Daniels. He's about all the right stuff, and there's not a negative word said about him. And that's been going on since April when he walked in the building.
Yeah, it's perfect. And I was skeptical of it. I knew Jayden, so Simmons had me do top 5 most exciting players in football in 2024, and I put Jayden Daniels on. He was the only rookie on there.
Yeah.
Reason being is that he was able to go downfield against SEC defense.
Bobby Johnson.
Like CJ Stroud was able to do it for one day, and that suggested that he could play at the level he played at last year. Jayden Daniels did it for an entire season. Like, he was unbelievable. And I've talked before about how much football he played, how many reps. I talked to Zavita Pritchard, their quarterback coach, right before the season, right before he did that pod. And he was like, the amount of data points he has in his brain that we're able to watch, we're able to process, because he was in different offenses, with different skill guys over 5 years. And we're able to say, hey, he couldn't do this, then he could do this 2 years later. Like, you're not seeing that with for instance, a Drake May, who played 3 years at North Carolina, didn't get the same amount of reps, or 3 years. He was behind Sam Howell 1 year, but didn't, Jayden Daniels, like, he could have gotten a doctorate, like, at LSU. Like, he was there forever. And so it's just a different type of prospect. And I knew he was going to be exciting day one. And I'm so happy. And I just don't, like, I didn't realize, first of all, like, a lot of my aunts and uncles live in DC, and the way they talk about DC football in the 90s and 80s, to me, I'm not old
rich
enough.
tradition, man.
It
I
feels
know.
like a foreign country.
I know.
And like I was listening to a pod with Parcells like a year ago, like just an old NFL film thing. And he was like, "Oh, you know how crazy RFK would get on Monday nights." And I'm like, "No, I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know.
No clue." About. And now to see, like, I went to dinner with breakfast with my aunt at an owners meeting in DC like 4 years ago, and Snyder was at the next table. And I go, "Hey, Snyder's there. You want to, just look at him?" And she was like, "No." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "I'm not looking at that guy. F that guy." And I was like, "Okay." And like, you don't unless you're a fan, you don't understand the vitriol. She didn't actually say "F that guy," by the way. Don't quote my aunt on that. Although I have
what's her name?
ones,
Aunt
so,
what?
So no, I just I have multiple. So it's like an aunt familiar with the situation.
We'll leave it big.
Yeah.
Bro, I want to get Peter on the show, bro. I want to get Peter on the show, bro. I want to get Peter on the show, bro. I gotta get Peter on the show. Don't let it. Hey, we win the Super Bowl, bro. I gotta get Peter on the show for the vibes, bro. Anthony Lynn, he up there too, real. That's a fact. Anthony is up there, bro. He on his redemption arc, like DJ said about Bobby Johnson. He on his redemption arc, bro. A lot of coaches don't get a second chance, and if they do, it could be their last shot, especially at head coach Dan Quinn is especially Dan Quinn with the head coach spot. Yeah, I kind of rephrased what you were saying, but we're on the same page. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up with all this Commanders stuff. Betting wise, I don't even know who I like, bro. Like, I mean, first of all, let me rephrase that. I got Commanders on the money line. I'm doing it. Money line. I'll put that on a parlay. Like a same game parlay. Other than that, I'm not touching that game by itself. I may do like a total if I like a total. It's at 47.5. I think the under is in play. I said 24-21. So I'm liking the under personally. So I think that, like, outside of the same game parlay, I do like the under in the Commanders Eagles game. So I'm not even questioning that one. But for the same game parlay, I'm gonna definitely do a money line. I'm gonna have a money line Commanders in there. Look, this is win or go home, bro. What I'm doing the spread for? I don't care about no spread. Yeah. Bills Chiefs. That's gonna be a tough one too, because it's down to -1.5. It started at 2. It's a lot of money on the Bills. Funny enough, I reached out to K. Well, let me rephrase that. I reached out to who I thought was the proper channel to try and get K. I don't think that's we're gonna see. We're gonna see about that. Hey, good luck with 7.5. You may have to buy a point and some change. I don't think that Jones getting to 7, bro. Ain't nobody letting that Jones get to 7 for whatever reason. But people love that 6 for Philly. People love that 6. I'm not too surprised by that. But that don't scare me. Jay Tizzy said Commanders and Bills money line. Okay, we got people on opposite sides in the chat. One say Bills, one say Chiefs. I think Jay Tizzy, though, I know you said you wanted the Bills and Commanders to have that repeat. I do too for the nostalgia. But I also remember, I mean, like the Bills and Chiefs, bro. As much as I love the Bills, man, I get duped every single year. Like when I back these guys to win to make it to the bowl, and that's not like an indictment on how I feel about them this year. But I do think, like, if there's one thing to take away from their previous performances throughout the playoffs and previous seasons, is like they find a way to throw up on themselves at the worst time, right? And that part, if you can't trust anything, that's one thing that you could trust. Is like that stuff that happens, and that happens to them. So what does that mean, though? Like, that may be a total game as well, like a point total. I can easily see both those games going under. Like, that's how tight of a game I think it'd be. I may mess around and do an under parlay. Under 47.5, under 48.5. I'm logging that in right now. I'm logging that in right now. Yeah, we're gonna lock that in. We're gonna lock that in, Playboy. I'm gonna put 1 unit on it. I was up to 6.5 on the Eagles game, up to 6.5 on FanDuel. So the numbers I'm looking at is at 6, but it's at 6.5. Yeah, I like the unders. Vanilla says she's winning 100%. Josh Allen going to get flustered. Bills are kind of like us. That's why I like them. Bills can run that goddamn football, and I like their offensive line. But that Chiefs defense is tough. Yeah, I just locked in that parlay. That sweet little parlay. Okay. Yeah, no, that's sweet, bro. Same game parlays. I'm not too sure just yet. I do know I like Zach Ertz receptions, alternate receptions. I'm gonna do Zach Ertz alternate receptions. I'm gonna do Austin Eckler alternate receptions. Dallas Goedert is gonna get busy. I like AJ Brown in this game, alternate receptions. Jayden Daniels rushing and receiving. I'm tripping, my bad. Jayden Daniels passing and rushing alternate. I'm going for that. He's been going over 300 both those games, but this one's going to look a little different. I've been saying I like that over 300, but I'm probably going to do like 250. I'm going to see if the number look. Matter of fact, let's see if how the number look for 250. I don't think it's going to be that favorable in terms of Jayden Daniels. Yeah, 250 is minus 260. That's not bad on a parlay. But it is pretty high, like against Philly. But I'm not scared. I think 250. I think 250 is a good deal. If I'm really nervous, I may do like 225 if I want to get the dub. But 225 is at minus 470. That's a lot. That's a lot that you're giving up. I think I'm gonna do Saquon Barkley receptions too, because I like his number is ridiculous, bro. His numbers don't even start at like the 40 plus. It starts at 70 plus, and it's at minus 1100. His rushing and receiving yards is minus 1,000 at 80 plus. Like you ain't got no choice, but if you really wanna get some good value on Saquon, you gotta go closer to that 100. But his receptions at 2 plus is at minus 168. He don't get a lot of receptions, but I think that's more valuable in this game than it is his rushing yards. If you just need some receptions, bro. I may do a parlay with the receptions on there and then take Saquon completely off. Just because the value is just way too expensive. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I lean Chiefs too. And I love the Bills, bro. They frustrate me to no ends. All right, gotta go. I know that wasn't a huge preview, but I like the unders. If I'm talking about like the traditional gambling, I like the unders in both. I just played the parlays. I'm gonna do both of them separate. I need to do that actually. And then I'm gonna do my same game parlays. I'm probably gonna have like 6-7 plays on Sunday, bro. And they better not give me a no sweat. I hope they do. Jayden over 275 passing and rushing yards is minus 144 on FanDuel. Yeah. Oh, is that his traditional number? Not the alt. Oh no. I was at 283.5. You're saying, oh yeah, 275. Yeah, minus 144. Yeah, I'm looking at that too. Yeah, if I get nervous, I may just do 250. But this ain't the time to be getting nervous. I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay. All right. Hey, best of luck to everybody this weekend. Yeah, the alt line. Best of luck to everybody this weekend. When you get your plays in, have a safe weekend, bro. Everybody that's happening live, the Morning Trappers. We're gonna wrap this one up, and we will be back post game of the NFC title game, man. Commanders Eagles, bro. I can't wait. Hey, have y'all drinks on deck. You know, we celebrating. We celebrating. If you get what I'm saying. We out of here. Peace.
Chop it down. Chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. Damn, set. Watch him throw the ball. We gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through 4th and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Dive.